Edward and Gordon is a little bit like the first episode of Thomas and Gordon, but things are a little bit reversed. This is the second episode of Thomas and Friends, directed by David Mitton, aired originally in 1984, and I'll read the description from IMDb, which sums this up brilliantly. And this says, Gordon gets stuck on the hill and old Edward proves that he can still be a really useful engine when he comes to Gordon's rescue. So the reason this is a bit like the first episode but reversed is that the message is the same. You shouldn't be boastful, because you never know when you'll get your comeuppance. Gordon is boasting about how he's a big important engine. Edward does a lot of shunting, which Gordon doesn't deem to be as important. It's actually carrying passengers and cargo. But Edward, as the description said, is trying to pull carts or carriages up the hill, and he struggles, he's out of breath, it's very difficult, and Edward comes to his rescue and proves that he's good for more than Gordon thinks he is. And it's a sweet message. Gordon doesn't necessarily acknowledge what's happened, but at least one character does. Now, the message is the same as it is in the first one. Don't boast, because everybody has their part to play and everybody is important. There are still a mix of stills and some beautiful shots of the trains moving mechanically, which always fills me with such fuzzy nostalgia. But there is a greater use of the little people here. We see a lot more people, which wasn't so much the case in the first episode. And as I said, in my mind, the people moved around a lot, the movements were very fluid, there was a lot more, I guess, stop motion with the characters. So I'm keen to see if and when any of that comes in, to see what my memory is like, and obviously things are much better than they actually are when you look back on childhood shows. But I'm curious to see what they do with this, but the nostalgia is wonderful. For the target audience, the message is really important, but also for anybody of any age. It's always important to be reminded to not be boastful and not think you're better than other people, because you never know when you're going to need their help.